Gracie and I are not at the coal mines today. We're actually down on the mud flats of Saltwater River where there are no march flies. And that photo I'm about to put up was taken from the top of that hill there, looking down to where we are standing now. And on this side here there were convicts at a convict station. 200 convicts arrived here in around March of 1841. What we're actually looking for here today is the causeway that went across Saltwater River, linking up the Saltwater River settlement to the settlement down at Impression Bay, which is the next town along. And where Grace is standing there is one of the last remaining logs that the convicts positioned for the causeway, and then it travels across that direction there. Looking back at the settlement itself, you can just see a little post there, and there's one horizontal log over there near the shore bank, but this mud here is quite challenging to say the least walking through, so we'll just start the little tour from here where Gracie is there. So, this is the last of the big logs. See here, it's worn the passage of time. I mean, this was probably built about 1842, 1843, something like that. There is no known date that I can find. There is some rock here, loose rock. Maybe they used that to pack under the logs when they first built it. All I know about this place here is the measurements of it and the dates of the settlement. I do not know anything more about the causeway. But let's have a look at it. Come. Now by 1846 they had 587 convicts down here, and Saltwater River was used as the farm for the Tasman Peninsula for the convict stations that were down here. The coal mines had its own acreage of probably about 15 acres at the most, but that was easily dwarfed by the Saltwater River settlement. But the peak production down here 1847 to 1848, they had 245 acres under cultivation. So I've got another log here that's probably been turned sideways by the current, and the remains of one here and one in the distance there. So we'll have a little further look here. I did walk this before, you can call it walking, and then I finished it and then I realised the GoPro was on photo, not video, so we're doing it again. Now the uprights here seem to survive okay. This area down here, Norfolk Bay, it's very shallow, the water, so I don't know what actually a very high tide would be here, but just looking at the bank and looking at these uprights, I would say that even at high tide, most high tides, they could have crossed this river using the causeway. See this one here, it's the last one, but it's up to my chest and it's been broken off, so I'd say it's a little bit higher, or had a little bit higher originally. Now I'll put up a couple of old photos of this to give you a better impression of what it actually looked like. You can see there it was in a lot better shape than what we're seeing here today. I'm now about 3/4 of the way along, and I can see a piece of timber here, and another piece of timber here heading back in the line of the jetty, and there's all this gravel, as we saw right at the start there, surrounding it. There is no gravel I've seen here 100 metres that way or 100 metres that way, so this has obviously been dumped. What I suggest is they put this gravel down and then they put these timbers in this direction, and then from that point on the large logs were rolled down from the settlement and placed in position with the uprights beside them. So we're on the other side of what's left of Saltwater River here at low tide, and this is where the causeway would have come across on this side of the bank here, and there is nothing to show that I can see here. There may well be in the bush there somewhere where the old Convict road linked up, but from here to the other side, at the start of the causeway, it was 500 yards, which I think is about 457 metres. So there you have it, the Convict Causeway at Saltwater River.